So without further ado, here is Mr. Chey Scovell. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Listen, I'm going to just be talking generally about getting the jab, but many of you know that I represent the manufacturer sector and also sit on the board of one of our more reliable SOEs, PNG Power. And they've got about 2,500 employees. And it's been very difficult to get them to get the jab as well. And unlike my great mentor, David, I'll be talking a little bit more off the cuff. But we know in March last year, Papua New Guinea made its first official response to COVID when the government introduced a foray of, I guess, restrictions and measures in an effort to try and mitigate the impacts of COVID, which we had seen sort of slowly unfolding throughout the rest of the world. Unfortunately, from that time until today, we all note that on the many WhatsApp forums, social media forums, and when Anne gave me a call and mentioned this opportunity the other day, I went through and had a tally. And when somebody posts something that's actually factual about COVID, you'll get maybe one person acknowledge that factual comment. But you will have at least 5 people making a criticism of a factual comment. And when people post things that are not true, we have about a dozen people, it was actually 9 to 10 people, I won't exaggerate, but 9 to 10 people get on the bandwagon and get behind those people putting up, factual, untrue information. When it comes to encouraging people to get the jab, they've just got to roll up the sleeve and get the jab. David's already spoken about the likelihood of having a death or a major health crisis if you get in a car, if you take birth control. I think most people, when they're presented with an opportunity to get on an aeroplane ride that goes more than 7 hours, the only thing they are is excited, and you've got 2 to 3 times more the chance of having a health issue from going on a flight for that long. And if you're going to get on a flight that's more than 9 hours, it's significantly more again. And once more, people are only excited about the opportunity to get on a bus and get 9 hours away from this place. All of the people that have had jabs so far, we've had no reports of anybody that have had an adverse reaction to the jab. The AstraZeneca jab is still the #1 jab going around here, and unfortunately, Australia stopped access for that vaccine for people under the age of 40 and then 50. We note now that they're telling anybody can go and get that jab, but the 1 in 700,000 or 1 in 800,000 people that may have a complication from the AstraZeneca shouldn't be a reason for people not to go and get the vaccine. We've struggled with HIV, we've struggled with TB, but this virus spreads far more easier than both of those diseases combined. Walking into a cafe, walking through an airspace that somebody else was before you is a lot different to consensual or non-consensual sex, or having to sleep in a house that's somewhat overcrowded with people coughing and passing on TV. So what do we know about this vaccine? We know that this vaccine is based on many decades of tried and true science and research in the development of vaccines. We also know that the vaccine has passed through a number of trials before it's gotten out to and been approved for use. So with all of these things that are known to us as facts, we just need to get employees out there. What I would suggest now is the one thing that motivates everybody in Papua New Guinea to get the jab is money or a prize. And whilst now we've got very, very low vaccine rates, I think if we offered cash for a jab, 10 kina or 10 kina flex cards when you go and get a jab, that will have, a big increase in those numbers. I really don't believe that the objection to having the jab is well grounded in any strong feeling. It's about getting on with the hysteria. As health professionals, as employers that have got a duty of care to our staff and to the customers that come into our business premises, we've got a duty of care. And I think that, all of the talk will go away on the negative, or the reluctance to go and get a vaccine if people are able to pick up something as little as, $3 or $4 or in cash or some flex cards to get the jab. So, Dr. Clark, that's really my suggestion now. I think we can talk about it no matter when we put out the facts. They're not well supported, they're not well applauded. And I think it's now time for us as business advocates and business owners to make sure we get people in there, roll up the sleeve, get a jab, and I think we've got to now look at incentivising them to do so. Thank you.